Toastmasters, the guests, and the lovely Toastmaster of the day. This setting sort of reminds me of a concert that I attended few months back. Except I was on the other side of the stage. There was this artist named Shanice who gave a wonderful performance that night, and she made a lasting impression on me. In the middle of her song, it was a rant song, by the way, about adulthood. She screamed loudly in front of a room filled with people. She screamed and then continued nonchalantly as if nothing has happened. This scream continued twice or thrice again, and every time sent chills down my spine. And after her performance was over, the room erupted in a round of applause because it was a great performance. And after the noise has died down, she started to explain what exactly her song meant, which was titled, by the way, The Scream. Now, according to Shanice, each one of us needs an avenue to let our inner struggles out. It can be in the form of singing, it can be in the form of dancing, it can be in the form of talking to your friends or a cup of coffee, or 100 other ways that is available for you to express yourself. Later that night, when I went back home and tried to understand what she has said, in my self-reflection, I realized throughout my life, my scream has been translated into bubbled words through diary writing. I have maintained a diary throughout my childhood and my adult life in an on and off manner, though, like the complicated relationship that most of us have today. But still, I stuck with it and have maintained one till now, which sort of looks like this. Not the exact depiction of my diary, if you can. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well. It doesn't say all this in my real diary, but yeah, something like that. And I'm so glad that I found my scream without even realizing it. This habit of diary writing has shaped the person that I am today. It has helped me to cope up with a lot of things, the struggles, the worries that I had as a teenager or as an adult. Now, to give you few virtues of diary writing that I have come to realize that really helped me in overcoming a lot of things. The first one is self-reflection. Now, this single-handedly elevates the quality of life that you have and the quality of relationship that you have with yourself and the people around you. When you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, it certainly messes up your mind. And if you put that on a piece of paper, it sort of gives you an idea how to solve it. And it really makes sense sometimes when you write down, which is why so many times you are told to make a pros and cons list whenever you are going through a difficult time or have to choose something. Correct? Now, the second one is the creative freedom that comes with it. As you are saying, in a day-to-day life, in our mundane life that we have, we need a sort of creative freedom. And I feel diary writing has given that creative freedom to me. For example, it becomes your canvas of experimentation. You can go wrong in so many ways and nobody is there to judge you for that. You can write whatever you want and you are at the liberty to make mistakes. For example, I remember I started to make up these weird words which only I could understand, so that in case ever the diary landed up in the hands of, let's say, Rahul, who's not here by the way, I wouldn't want him to know what I've written about. And which is why I started to, come up with a lot of new words and new sentences that only I could understand. Or let's say writing even poetry. I tried my hand and gave up. One of the poetry started with like, Gandhiji was father of our nation and he was responsible for cutting down corruption. Which is why I stopped writing poetry, by the way. Something of that sort, which leads into the segue of the third point, that is rereading the old timers. I love reading the old entries I have made as a 16-year-old hormonally challenged Shreya to a college-going Shreya whose only idea of romance came from Jane Austen's books. And I I had this great time whenever I read it. Some of the excerpts from the book are as follows, not the real diary, just saying. So let's say, age 8, he shouldn't have eaten my food. Age 12, do you think L is mad at me because I sat next to S? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Age 16, I think I'm in love, all in caps. Age 18, I hate my life. Age 22, I love my life because finally I started to earn. Now, all in all, what I'm trying to say is, when you have a source where you can derive strength from, the scream, it becomes easier for you to lead a happier life. What Shanice was trying to make a point or that night was that all of us need a scream in order to make sure that you do not go insane in a dystopian world. And to be honest, don't be shy to find that scream of yours, because trust me, there's nothing more satisfying than to scream in a room full of people. Back to the Toastmasters.